habits that I feel have allowed me to become more successful. First one is exercise. My health is number one priority because if I'm not healthy, I can't help you guys. I can't help any dogs. The key here, what's going to end up happening through you getting into working out, exercise, and really testing yourself, you're going to develop your mindset. You're going to teach yourself that you can do things, that you can push past tiredness, that you can push past soreness, weakness, that you can push past wanting to give up. Another big habit here is studying other people. Basically, again, your mental diet. What are you feeding yourself? Learning and studying from the people that have more knowledge than me. Educate yourself on nutrition. Now we need to talk about recovery. Because if you're exercising, breaking your body down essentially when you exercise, right? Well, it needs to recover, right? If you're using your mind a lot, sleep is part of that. Your diet is part of that. Sleep being number one. Another habit there is waking up early, right? Early bird gets the worm. Once you build that habit of getting up early, you're gonna do so much more and you'll make so much more progress. Waking up early, which has to do with your sleep, which has to do with your recovery. All right, so a quick little video for you guys, just letting you know a little bit about the habits that I feel have allowed me to become more successful, right? We put up a video, just, breaking down, look, where I've come from, things I've been through, things that have molded me, my mindset that has allowed me to, not one, follow a passion, develop a skill, and learn to become successful with that skill, right? And so someone asked, what are the daily habits that I do in order for that to happen, right? So I think, guys, the first one is exercise. It's crucial, I feel, okay? I feel like when you get your body right, you'll get your mind right. It starts with your body, and we know they're connected, right? Mind and body are connected. So there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that I've been able to advance, let's say more, better, faster, at a higher level when I got my body right. And I've been an athlete, my entire life. I was doing, as I talked about in that video, I was doing karate when I was 5 years old. And then I moved on and I played soccer. And then I moved on and did that at a higher level. And then I continued whenever I, graduated high school. And I never played college or anything like that. But, I played at a higher level and I was always wanting to win. And so I carried that over once I started dog training and I was I moved to California. But then, I just went so hard and stayed so focused on learning the craft and becoming a better trainer that, my physical side just went away. It went to the wayside. I didn't focus on it. And I messed myself up because, dog training is, at least again at the level that I'm doing it, is very demanding on the body. Very demanding, right? So, I have some imbalances because we're bending over and the dogs are always on my left side, so I'm always bending to the left. And so what really happened was I was having some neck pain and I went to the doctors and then they sent me to a specialist and then I got an MRI and then they gave me muscle relaxers and nothing ever happened, nothing worked. And they were like, well, we don't really see anything. And I'm like, well, something's going on, right? And finally it just dawned on me. I'm like, oh, I did this to myself and I need to fix myself, right? I wasn't physically fit. So once I started putting focus on becoming physically fit, and making it a priority, things changed. My mindset changed, obviously my body changed, and I'm able to do more. There's no possible way Cynthia and I can do everything that we're doing without having the healthiest, strongest, most mobile, fit body we can. And I'm also really, really intrigued at health, longevity. Again, in that video I explained that I've lost quite a few family members to poor health at very early age, one of them being my dad. And so really just struck a chord in me that, you know, for longevity reasons, I have to work at it, right? And it takes work. And so there was a mindset shift that happened to me where it's like, look, choose your hard, right? It's gonna be hard to live with a crappy body, okay, that's breaking down on you. It's also gonna be hard to stick to exercise and working out and that discipline. Like, either one is hard, okay? So, but one is more beneficial than the other. It is. So, number one thing is taking care of your body. You need some type of physical exercise every single day. You've got to put strain on your body. You have to test it, and you need it to respond. The body needs to know that you're putting demand on it. We're too soft these days. We do too much sitting down, and it's just, you're declining. All right, if your body's not progressing, it's declining. So that's the first one. So again, I work out 2 o'clock every single day. Okay, every day we work out. It's in the schedule. And again, I have, you know, the good part about doing what I do is I'm able to make sure that that's in the schedule, right? And guys, if you guys listen to any really successful people, just go around and you know, people that are running large companies or whatever it is, guys, most of them are going to show you a workout routine. Okay, it's in there, right? Mark Wahlberg, workout routine. You know, Joe Rogan, workout routine, right? I mean, obviously I follow a lot of athletes also. Okay, I'm obviously inspired by a lot of athletes because I consider myself a professional, right? That's what we are, right? We're being paid to perform our skill, right? That's a professional. So I view myself as a professional athlete. And so therefore, you know, yeah, my health is number one priority, because if I'm not healthy, I can't help you guys. I can't help any dogs. And even if you try to do, you know, help you guys or help dogs and you're not healthy, you're not doing it at the best of your ability. You're just absolutely not. You're doing it from a poor body and a poor mind. And so it's just not the best of your ability, and that's what I'm trying to tap into. What is our maximum potential? What are we capable of doing? And most people don't even know what they're capable of doing because they've never tested themselves. So you're going to learn a lot about yourself through really testing yourself through exercise, right? Because what's going to end up happening, all right, this is the key here, what's going to end up happening through you getting into working out, exercise, and really testing yourself, you're going to develop your mindset. You're going to develop your mindset. You're going to teach yourself that you can do things, that you can push past tiredness, that you can push past soreness, weakness, that you can push past, you know, the wanting to give up. And guys, the hard part here is if you don't already have that instilled in you, it's very difficult to do. I know that. So you got to seek outside help there, right? So even for me, I'm pretty well versed at, you know, the exercise that I do. I study a lot of people, guys. So another big habit here is studying other people, okay? Basically, again, your mental diet. What are you feeding yourself, right? So I'm constantly trying to learn, but I watch a lot of, you know, fitness people, fitness influencers. You know, often when we're working out, we're watching Arnold videos, right? The golden era of bodybuilding. I've learned a lot through bodybuilding, and essentially, guys, I consider myself a bodybuilder, right? I'm not trying to win competitions, and I don't have the genetics and all of that, but the idea is I'm taking care of my body and I'm building it, right? So we're going to be learning and studying from the people that, you know, have more knowledge than me, right? So I'm watching these, again, people like Arnold or different influencers, or again, in the same ballpark here, nutrition, diet. So one thing that really helped me was 2018, I started watching bodybuilders and learning about their diet. I'm like, well, these guys know something. Look at their bodies, right? So I started watching this one series that was like called Bodybuilding on a Budget. And it was basically, you know, trying to show up and coming bodybuilders who technically don't have any money, how to grocery shop for a week of bodybuilding diets, right? And it was like, they would have a goal. You know, they would say, okay, we have $50 for the week. Let's go to the store. And, you know, they need to eat 5 or 6 meals a day, right? So you're trying to get, you know, 30 or 40 meals for the week on $50, right? So it's chicken, it's potatoes, it's oatmeal, it's rice, you know, things like that. So that's where I really started to learn about diet. And I'm like, well, look, we really don't need all the nonsense, right? I'm like, these guys are not eating all the nonsense. They're eating their macronutrients and getting what they need. And look at them. So I really started to incorporate that. And a lot of it was just challenge. So again, guys, I'm built a little bit differently where I want to see, can I do this? Can I challenge myself? Can I stick to it, right? And also just a test to see what happens if I do. So I found a lot of benefit in that, and I started to implement it a lot more. So nutrition, right? So you have exercise, and then you have your nutrition, okay, your diet. So I think there's a little bit of a difference there between diet and nutrition in our understanding, okay? We really need to understand nutrition, okay? Diet is like, well, yeah, you know, I'm on the keto diet, blah, 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 whatever it is, but it's like you really don't understand nutrition. You're just following a diet, right? So I think the first part is, on that one, is educate yourself on nutrition, right? Guys, 8 out of 10 people are unhealthy in United States, right? That's insane. 8 out of 10 people. That means when you have 10 people, only 2 people are healthy. That's insane. But why? Well, because we're uneducated, and because it takes a lot of work and self-discipline to, you know, not be constantly feeding mouth pleasure and stuff like that. So again, once you start to get the ball rolling, you'll start to notice and understand that, whoa, you know, some foods are slowing me down. Some foods are really causing me to be inflamed, right? Some foods are really messing my sleep up, right? So, and then I have to show up for you guys, right? I'm on my way right now to go do a session with Virginia's owner, right? So I have to show up. So I need to be my tip-top shape, right? So my mind needs to be right, which means my sleep needs to be correct, right? So now we need to talk about recovery. Recovery is huge, because if you're exercising and you're beating yourself down, right, or up, okay, breaking your body down essentially when you exercise, right? Well, it needs to recover, right? If you're using your mind a lot, because I'm always using my mind. This is very difficult. I'm constantly solving problems. I'm constantly solving unknown problems, not only with the dogs in front of me, but I'm trying to solve the problems that you guys are throwing at me, right? The dog's doing this, what do we do? How do we solve the separation issue? Dog just reacted to our child, what do we do? My mind is constantly working, so I need it to repair. I need recovery. So I find that, you know, sleep and recovery, it's not important for the people who are not actually taxing themselves. They're not actually breaking themselves down so much that they need to recover. So recovery is huge, okay? So sleep is part of that, which then means that, like, your diet is part of that. There was a time, again, 2017, 2018, I'm like, why am I always tired? Why am I waking up and I don't feel rested? Well, I was eating way too much before bed. That's a huge one. So I try not to eat 3 hours before bed. I'd love to eat 4 hours before bed so I have a lot of time to digest, because I only eat twice a day. Okay, so again, guys, if you pay attention to nutrition and making sure you're getting your macronutrients, you don't need a lot of meals, and your body does need some time to relax and digest. So my dinner is a very large meal, all right? It's large. So I need some time to digest afterwards before I go to sleep. So I have noticed if I eat too close to bed, my sleep is messed up, right? So now, excuse me. So now we're even talking about, obviously, the quality of food that you're eating, right? Like sugar and all that's just going to destroy you before bed. Okay, so recovery is very important. So sleep being number one. It's like you can just not do anything else and just get some sleep, and you're going to be way ahead of the game. All right, so got to go to sleep on time, and then you need to get up on time. Okay, so another habit there is waking up early. Waking up early. Right? Early bird gets the worm. The earlier you wake up, the more you're going to be able to do. That it's just plain, it's just simple. Like, we all have the same amount of hours in the day, yet some of us seem to do more than others, right? And it's because, yeah, people get up early, they knock things out, you know. I work out in the middle of the day just because I'm getting up and I've got to work with dogs and take care of dogs right away. So I work out in the middle of the day. Also, I do kind of like that, you know, I've had all day for my body to warm up, right? Because your core temperature warms up throughout the day. Often when we take a break and we're off and we take our 3 weeks off, I do work out in the morning. That's just because I have the time to, and then that way I have the whole day to play, right? Because when we're on vacation and we're taking our time off, our 3 weeks, you know, we're playing, we're having fun, right? That's our fun time. In reality, again, we've just accumulated days off to take off consecutively. Okay, so waking up early, important. Okay, try to be productive right away. So, you know, again, guys, I wake up, I roll out of bed, and I work right away. We have to take dogs out to go potty right away. Sometimes, again, I've told you, I don't even pee. I wake up, if I have a puppy that needs to go out, I may not pee. I'm gonna take that puppy out right away, and then I'll go. I'll take care of myself. So, you know, again, not everybody has that demand on themselves, but one thing I am gonna tell you, because Cynthia and I talk about this all the time, I feel you need a job that requires you to be up early. Because I feel like once you build that habit of getting up early, you're gonna do so much more and you'll make so much more progress. Okay, so yeah, you know, I've progressively started getting up earlier and earlier to now where I get up about 5 o'clock. Sometimes I wake up a little bit earlier, right? 4:45, something like that, just naturally, and then I just get up. So waking up early, which has to do with your sleep, which has to do with your recovery. Okay, so continuing on the recovery side, we have so many recovery tools that we use. Foam rollers, right? The knotted foam roller and just a classic foam roller, right? Some of you should just be starting with that. You got tight muscles because you have underused, underdeveloped, weak muscles. So they're tight and they're weak. Simply just starting to roll them out is gonna help you. Okay, so we use a foam roller. Theragun. I use my Theragun almost daily, right? I like and again, you have to ease into this stuff, guys, as you start to learn the human body. Your number one goal should be to learn the human body. It baffles me that that's not our number one priority, and it's not taught to us that that's what we should be doing. Like, that's all you have is your body. It should be your number one priority to take care of it. You're gonna get everything you want, and well, you're gonna have the ability to get everything you want and do everything you want when you have a healthy body. So, the Theragun, right? I have a wall attachment for it too, where you can attach it to the wall, and that way you can, you know, do your back and everything. You don't need anyone to hold it for you and all that, so you can use that too, right? So, Theragun is important also. I'll have a whole bunch of different like hooks and things like that to be working on your back. You know, some different, I have that So Right thing, and I'll show you guys all of these things, right? But I have that So Right thing to work on your psoas. I got one of these like rollers for like your legs and your arms. It's like spring loaded. That thing works wonders on your calves for tight calves. Yeah, right, and just classic stretching, okay? But also, I think, again, the idea is you need to build the strength, okay? So stretching alone, yes, it'll help you, but the idea is you have weak muscles. So you have tight and weak muscles. So you need to work the muscles, and you need to work range of muscles, right? So you can have better range of motion. So, you know, again, like, One real benefit that we found from someone that we follow is knees over toes guy, right? Knees over toes guy. And I played soccer, so, you know, I have a good understanding of range and mobility and, you know, motion. And, you know, I've had pretty strong knees and ankles and things like that. But working the knees over toes guy program well, actually, we haven't I don't pay for the programs, guys. I just study them. I watch their videos. I watch the YouTube. I listen to them. And then I just incorporate them into the workouts that I'm doing. So, we use the slant boards. Okay, we use the slant boards, so that way, you're working in different ranges with your squats and different types of lunges and deadlifts and RDLs and things like that when you're on a slant board. Okay, so that's really going to help unlock your calves, work on your Achilles, work on your tibialis and all of that, which is going to just work all the way up your body. Remember, guys, it starts from your foot. Your feet are key. Okay, remember that flat feet is not real. Like, it's just an underused, underdeveloped, tight foot. Okay, I thought I had flat feet as a child. Well, I did, but I never developed an arch. That's why. We're supposed to have an arch in your foot. So flat feet is just not making mind-muscle connection and using your foot correctly. So on that point, barefoot shoes have drastically changed my body. If you guys see us, you work with us, we wear barefoot shoes all the time, right? So they strengthen your feet by just wearing them, right? So your shoes are messing you up. Thick sole shoes messing you up. They don't allow you to use your foot correctly. And so you end up, having weak feet, weak ankles. And then that works its way up the chain. Okay, your calves are off, your knees off, your hips off, your back's off, your shoulders off, your neck hurts. It's a chain. So it starts with your feet, right? Let's see, the recovery. Sometimes I do a sauna, right? I have a little $250 portable, sauna. It only gets up to like 110, 115, nothing crazy, but I get in there and I sweat out. I sweat for 20 minutes. I get in there. And I do that before I take a shower at night. Okay, so, do the sauna sometimes. I have done the cold plunge. Okay, that one is going to be a lot more difficult for people because that one is really some mental fortitude there. All right, so I just use the bathtub. We get 10-pound bag of ice. I get the bathtub. I fill it up on cold all the way. I dump the ice in, and then I get in. 2 minutes. 2 minutes I do. Now, I've only done it a few times, but it is something that, one, you gotta have the mental to do it. Okay, people are not really willing to sit in, 33, 34, 35 degree water up to the neck. Okay, and you need to work up to that. But I will tell you, I have noticed a lot of benefits. Okay, once you get out, well, one, you need to control your breathing. Okay, but two, backtrack a little. When I played soccer, at our high school, we, had a very good athletic program, and so we had a good athletic trainer. And so, in our training room, we had ice baths. We did. So, when I would get shin splints or, I twisted my ankle or whatever, and I had to see the trainer, I would have to, put my whole leg or whatever, half my body in the cold plunge. So, and, it sucked, and you had to sit there and the trainer, because you couldn't get cleared to play without the trainer clearing you. So the only way that you could play was by doing what he told you to do to know that you worked on it and you got healed, right? So I had to do it. So there will be a point where your leg just goes numb and you don't feel it anymore, right? So, but when I'm doing it at home, 2 minutes, okay? Get your breathing right. Get your breathing under control. Get in your mind, breathe it out, and stay strong. Once you get out, you let the body cool, reach back up to temperature on its own. And just watch a lot of mental clarity happen after that. Watch a lot of relaxation happen after that. Watch how good of a night's rest and sleep you get after doing a cold plunge like that. So again, I've only done it a few times at home, so I'm not saying hey, this is something that's absolutely in my routine. No, it's also just because, I don't have enough ice all the time. I don't. So it's something that we thought about, but, I'm not spending $5,000 on a cold plunge right now. But something to do. So sauna and cold plunge. And let's see, what else for recovery? I think that's about it. Right? Self-massage. You guys, most of the time we shy away from any type of pain, like knots, muscle pain. We're don't touch that, it hurts. That's where you need to be focusing. You need to work through that, right? You need to work through the knot. You need to get all that out. So a lot of it, guys, is just self-massage. Get under here, under your armpits right here, where your pec meets your armpits right here. A lot of people are, rounded shoulders, hunched over, a lot of phone use, right? A lot of sitting down, a lot of computer stuff, right? So we're all tight right here. That's causing you to lean forward. So get in there, work all this out, right? Get all that. So just self-massage. Okay, self-massage is very important. Learn your body. Don't shy away from it. Get into your calves, get into your thighs, your quads, right? Your feet, your hands, right? Get in there and self-massage the hands. Again, using your hands a lot for your phone, you're gonna have tight thumbs. Your wrists are gonna hurt. Okay, so guys, all of this is just an overuse of the body and not really understanding how to use it correctly. And for sustainability and longevity, and then we're trying to solve these problems from outside sources. Okay, don't fall into the trap. The trap wants you to continue to be in the cycle so they can continue to try to treat you with the outside sources. You're all money for them. Okay, so learn to treat yourself. Real quick on the nutrition. No seed oils, no sugar. Huge. Okay, no seed oils. Look, we don't really use olive oil either. If any of them, you might use olive oil, you might use avocado oil, if any of them. But even then, we don't. I use butter. I use butter only. And tallow. I use beef tallow. Okay, but no seed oils. That's really messing you up. Really clogging you up. Your brain. Making you foggy. All right, so definitely, no corn oil, no sunflower oils, no whatever it is. None of that. Canola, definitely not. No. Just stick to, those are all refined, all right? They've been grown with the crappiest crops and pesticides and all that, okay? They're just heavily modified. You don't want any of that. So that in itself is going to make a huge difference, okay? And then no sugar. So I do eat a lot of honey, because that's different, okay? And then I eat some fruit, okay? Papaya, pineapple, berries. I'm trying to think of what else. Like, it's kind of it for fruit. But no sugar, okay? And let's see. Well, again, your mental diet. What are you paying attention to? This is important. You have to start paying attention and catch yourself when you start focusing on the wrong things. Negativity, scrolling. You want to use your time wisely. You want to be educating yourself. Now, I also do, yes, I pay attention to things that I enjoy, like my hobbies. Okay, my hobbies. I'm always into engineering. I've talked about that before, that I wanted to be, a mechanic or do mechanical engineering, or if I could do anything at all, I would be a race car driver, right? Because I like the engineering and I like the requirements that it puts on yourself. And of course, I like adrenaline and exhilaration, right? But so I pay attention to hobbies, especially because, guys, I'm doing business and dogs and work all the time, 24/7, day in, day out. So I do need a little bit of time to just get out of it, because I'll even catch myself watching dog videos, studying dog, famous dog trainers, been in the game for 30 years, things like that. I'm always studying. So sometimes I have to catch myself and be like, all right, let me give myself a break from dogs for a little while, right? I'm into watches. So, I study engineering and watch movements and understanding how they were made, and then, car stuff and whatever. So hobbies, but I'm doing that after I've educated myself on, things that are going to help me, things that are going to be beneficial. All right. So you can't just focus on your hobbies first. No, right? You have to work, and then you can play. So it needs to be like 90-10, guys. 90% purpose, 90% work, 10% pleasure, 10% play. If you want to, get to somewhere in your life, make some drastic changes, you can't be doing it the opposite. You can't do 90% play and pleasure and 10% work. You'll never get there. So, your mental diet, okay? I don't follow a lot of other dog trainers or dog content. I don't. I try to stay focused on what I do. Like I just said, yes, I will watch. I do. But the ones that I feel can give me value. Okay? I'm not wasting my time on content that I don't think brings me any value. Am I learning or am I not learning, right? Does this person really have the right intention of teaching, or are they just getting caught up in, nonsense and drama and trying to run social media algorithms so they can get views and all that crap? I'm not doing any of that. Okay? I don't really watch the news. It's all negative. I watched the news a lot, like even till just like a year ago. I did, because I enjoyed it in the mornings, drinking coffee, but it's negative, and they're not really teaching me anything. So, I listen to business podcasts. I'm learning from people. Every day I listen to Gary Vee. The last 6 years, I've been listening to Gary Vee, and I've implemented it, read the books. I listen to his podcast. He has a great one, maybe once a month, that he does on YouTube. It's called Marketing for the Now, where he talks to different CMOs from all over. One episode might be the CMO of Coca-Cola. The next one might be, someone who works in the Toronto Raptors organization. Whatever. But you're learning from people who are actually doing things and implementing things. Okay, so that's huge. That has been a drastic change for me. I listen to the people that are doing it, that are trying to teach the others, right? The people who have the knowledge, who are trying to give it to the people who need it, which is what I try to do in dog training, or with some of this, mentality, mindset type stuff, right? There's people out there that have the knowledge that don't give it to the people who need it, right? They want you to pay for it. They want you to pay for it. Buy my course, right? I'm not listening to those people, right? Give it to me for free. If you really care, you'll give it to me for free. And when it comes time for me to buy something, I'll buy from you. That's what's happened with Gary Vee. But I listen to people like Brad Lee. Brad Lee's a great one. He's got a podcast called Dropping Bombs. All types of people on there. People that went to prison for 10 years, now change their life around. Those are the people I want to hear from. Right? People who have real stories, lived real lives, hardship, struggle, and change their life around, right? Because that takes real mental fortitude, right? So, people like Wes Watson, again, went to prison. Okay? So, now people might not like the way that, these people are delivering their message, but find someone that's delivering you a great message, right? Jay Shetty, right? Again, Joe Rogan has great guests on that are going to teach you all sorts of stuff. All sorts. From beekeepers to, whatever, right? Astrophysicists. You go there to learn from the people that he has on. Okay? Too many people are like, nah, I don't want to listen to Joe. You're not going there for his opinion. Joe Rogan's just a guy. Okay? He's pretty smart, though. Look at what he's done. Right? Look at what he's done. He's doing it. And he wants to talk to smart people, right? He also talks to not so smart people, right? He's just interested in people. So that, whatever you're trying to do, listen to the people that are doing, big things in those industries, right? You can listen to Ryan Serhant if you want to learn more about real estate. I listen to everyone that's on Shark Tank, right? Everyone that's on Shark Tank. Listen to Mark Cuban, right? Listen to Damon John, right? And I get their books, right? I read their books, right? I listen to Charlemagne the God's Shook Ones on anxiety, or Ryan Holiday, right? For your daily stoic, right? Or to learn about stoicism and, Marcus Aurelius, right? So read all that. And listening to people like David Goggins, right? Who was 400 pounds or 350 pounds and wanted to become a Navy SEAL, and they said you couldn't do it, right? And he did it, right? And he became a savage, right? So I've listened to Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me 3 or 4 times, right? And I'm listening, guys, not reading, because I'm doing so many things, right? I'm doing so many things, so I need to listen to it while I'm doing other things. That's the great thing about podcasts or audiobooks, right? It's passive, right? But pay attention, right? Pay attention. You can go back further, right? Like Dale Carnegie's how to win friends and influence people, right? Things like that. So I'm constantly seeking out information and knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. Information is power. That's what you want to do. So those are some of the books that I'm reading. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? That. So that's all part of your education, okay? And then again, we've talked about educating on nutrition. So find someone that educates you on nutrition. Some good ones that I like are Paul Saladino, Peter Attia. And again, I'm kind of dialed in to where I'm on a specific. I only eat specific foods, so like I'm listening to people that are studying those, and I'm listening to the people that are also implementing it. Okay, that's very important, guys. Don't listen to people who are not implementing the advice. What I'm telling you right now is coming from a place of practitionership and implementation, not only with the dogs and dog training, not only with like running a business and business development, but also obviously in health, nutrition, mindset, body. This is being implemented on a daily basis. So I'm just coming from a place of this is what I do. This is what I've found that seems to work for me. And this is how I've come up with the conclusion, right? Based off of all of these sources here, all right? So, really, okay, another one for your habits, right? This was all about the habits to become successful. The people you hang out with. The people you hang out with and the people you listen to. I heard it yesterday. It's like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Show me the people you hang out with and I'll show you your future. That's it. That's spot on. Okay. Unfortunately, if you're hanging out with, with losers, hey, there's a good chance you are one or you're going to become that. And I'm just saying losers as in, air quotes there or whatever. Okay. So, because everybody has their own goals, but again, or no goals. That's also the point. Some people don't have no goals. They have no ambition. And so the idea is, how do we get people to understand, hey, if I can do it, you could do it too. You could. Absolutely. If there's anybody who has done it that looks like you or has come from where you come from, there's no excuse, you can do it. And I'm telling you, where I've come from, I also understand that there's people who have come from way more at the bottom than me. Right? In the negative. Like I've had some trials and some real hardship in my life. But there's people that have had to deal with way more, right? So again, if you look like me, if you come from where I come from, been through the things I've been through, then it's possible. Okay. So who you hang out with and spend your time with is very important. You have to make sure that you're paying attention to not hanging out with energy vampires, right? You want to be around the people that energize you, that give you ideas, that see what you're doing and they're like, whoa, what about this idea? What about that? Have you thought about this? You guys know, when you're with me, that's how I am. That's how I am. I see what you're doing and I'm like, well, what about this? Or this will help you maybe get to your goal a little bit faster. Right? And so I'm also seeking that out. I'm seeking out from the people who are further along than I am. What kind of nuggets can they give me? Right? And you guys know, I'll ask like, hey, let me pick your brain a little bit. Right? How'd you do that? Where'd you start from? Is this something you always wanted to do? What sparked that? Did you go to school? Did you not? Did you have a mentor? What are your daily habits? Right? So who you hang around with and spend your time with is extremely important. All right, because they will suck from you. And, something that Gary Vee says, it's like, the only people that are going to listen to your excuses and your woe is me is just other losers, okay? Or other people that are like that. So you just keep feeding each other, right? So unfortunately, you may have to cut some people out. Not may, you will. Again, talk to any very successful person. They will tell you, hey, you're gonna have to trim some fat, right? You're gonna, and that doesn't mean totally cut people out of your life, but maybe you stop talking to them, every other day, and it's once a week, right? Or once a month you hang out instead of every weekend, right? And again, because the idea is your actions need to match your ambitions. People have high ambitions and the actions just don't match them, and you'll never get there. So the key there is, all right, well, if you don't have high ambitions, then you're all good. Then you're right exactly where you should be. But if you have high ambitions, then your actions need to match them. And this again is like where I come from, whereas, hey guys, if you're not doing any of this, all good. All good. If you're not doing any of what I'm talking about, right? All good. I don't mind. Doesn't bother me. I'm doing it. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing it for me. You do it for you. All good. But just don't complain. That's it. Don't complain that you're not where you want to be if you're not doing the things to get you there. That's it. Okay? Because nobody's going to do it for you other than you. So as long as we are being extremely self-aware to understand, oh, all right, yeah, of course, like my habits are not getting me to where I want to be. Because that's your first part in changing. Your first part in changing is understanding, am I contributing to, what I don't want, right? What I don't want, whether that's, again, your body, your mind, your relationships, your career, your job, financially, if you're not making, the money that you want to make, well, build your self-value, your own value, and then watch you make more. Watch you progress in every area of your life when you work on yourself, and that's what all of this is about. I just told you the habits of working on yourself, and no one will do it for you, right? But anytime I'm talking about these things, I talk about exercise or diet or discipline, right? Because that's really what this is. This is self-control, patience, discipline, delayed gratification. You have to wait and be patient. When I'm telling you these things, I need you guys to know, when you guys think like this is hard and you're suffering by doing it, I'm doing it too. I'm doing it too. Anytime I see somebody working out and I'm like, hey, remember, when you think it sucks and you're working out, just remember that I'm doing it too, right? I'm going to do it too. There's somebody out there that's also doing it, right? So it comes down to yourself, okay? Hopefully those were a little bit on habits and the mindset, right? Physical, got to get your exercise in. Okay, got to get your exercise in. You need to put demand on the body. You need to build muscle, okay? You'll break down. You're already breaking down. So you want to delay that by having a healthier, stronger body, right? You need to work on your body. That will unlock your mind and body, okay? Then you continue to work on your mind. Feed your mental diet, okay? What are you watching? What are you listening to? You need to be learning, right? Your diet and your nutrition, you got to dial that in because that's part of your mind also. Your brain is inflamed because your body's inflamed because of what you feed it, all right? So you got to dial that in. And then those other small things, right? Where you're spending your time. And they're all connected, guys. They're all connected. You really can't just skip. You can't have one, do 2 or 3 and not the other. It's the recipe, right? It's the recipe. You got to have all of them. And you'll work up to it. You'll work up to it, okay? Because, guys, I'm savage. I am. I know you guys look at me, and some of you that we've sat down and we've had longer conversations, you're like, oh, this fucking guy, like, man, I wanted to go to dinner with this guy, and like, he sticks to his diet. Yeah, because it's important to me. It's important to me. Why? Because of you guys. My purpose, right? My purpose is for you guys. So I need to stick to that because through that, I get everything I need. And it's just better, guys. It's just better. Come on now. I feel better. I look better. I operate better. It's just all better. It's all better. So of course I'm going to do it. Okay? But you build up. You build up the habits. Okay? So you got to start though. You got to do it. And don't hesitate to seek out and ask. Okay? I'm always ready for the people that are like, hey, how do I do this? Hey, what do you suggest I do? But you gotta be willing to listen to the information and not take it to heart and not have an ego and not get upset. You have to be like, oh yeah, he's right. I do that and I need to change that. You will never advance if you are not self-aware like that. You have to take a step back and listen. Okay, so many people are not advancing because they're not ready to hear it, right? And you can't help anybody who's not, ready to listen and ready to hear it, right? It's the same with the dogs. So we're going to end right here on, guys, we implement all of this same understanding and techniques to your dogs, to my dog program. It's the same thing. You got the dogs come in, they don't get the physical, they don't have the mental right, they don't have no structure, they don't have no discipline, no patience, self-control, no delayed gratification. So therefore they're all over the place, right? They have anxiousness, bad behaviors, right? And all of a sudden I implement everything I just said, but in a dog way, and then look at how the dogs blossom. It works, right? It works. So we're gonna end right there. Guys, feel free to ask some more. I know that there's more that I do, people I listen to, podcasts, things like that, right? Feel free, and I'll let you know, again, some of the more detailed things of what I'm doing. If you guys need help, right? You want me to help you? I'll help you. I'll help you. Tell me what your current diet is. Tell me what your routine is. Tell me how you exercise. Tell me your sleep. Tell me where you're trying to get to. Again, I don't know it all. Absolutely not. I'm still learning. I don't claim to know it all. I just know what I've been doing and what has helped me become successful based on where I was and where I am right now, guys. And if you guys know me, I'm the least anxious person. And I have a lot of mental fortitude, right? Things don't bother me that seem to bother a lot of people. So again, I'm not saying be like me, but if you want to change and you want to become better, there are people that can help you do that. So just ask, all right? We'll leave it on that. We'll keep breaking things down for you. Remember, I'm always showing you guys how to do it. And I'm always going to be grinding away doing it because I love to grind away and do it. And I love to do it in silence, guys. All these things we talked about, I don't show you often, right? Because I'm doing it in silence. You have to get comfortable and love to do this behind closed doors. Don't be doing it to post on social media. Now, if that's what it takes in order for you to start and to hold you accountable, absolutely. But the people who grind and suffer, behind closed doors are the people that emerge, full-grown flowers, right? They're in the dirt, right? And I'm still in the dirt, guys. I'm like Gary Vee, right? Dirt, grinding every day, waking up early, taking out dogs with diarrhea, cleaning up poop, right? Dirt. Just dirt stuff, right? Everyone wants to be in the clouds, but it's all in the dirt is where you're going to find everything, all right? We'll end on that. Let's do it.